Hello everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have a Globiance video here, GBEX on the exchange. Before we go into finer details of what we're going through with Globiance today, do please make sure that you hit and smash that subscribe button and make sure that you hit that notification bell as well so you get notified of all the different videos coming away, and do check out the other videos as well. We cover a multitude of projects. So guys, Globiance for us, one of the really cool, exciting exchanges up and coming, in my opinion. This is one that has a bit of controversy in some arguments on socials sometimes about the supply and this, that and the other. But once you understand the tokenomics and how the burn mechanism works, it all becomes clearer and perhaps more, I wouldn't say trustworthy because I trust them anyway. I know some of the guys there very well. Very, very good team, a growing team. I think there's over 150 people working there now. But Oliver here, who I speak to regularly, hopefully have the AMA with him very soon. They're very busy at the moment. Big background in Citibank and some other big financial companies as well. So they're in good hands. But I wanted to draw attention to some of these topics here. You might find in the next or the upcoming months a lot of influencers picking up on Globiance, and I'm not going to lie, I'll probably put a referral code in our description because we are big fans of Globiance, and of course it helps this channel out when we do things like referrals. We already have some for like Qcoin and a couple of others. We're quite selective. But you might start seeing a bit more engagement with a load of influencers out there, mainly perhaps for pushing the referral. By the way, I'm not going to push the referral link. I'll just put it in the description and it'll be there and people can select it or not. I don't really care about all that. So this is really interesting because you might start seeing an influx of Globiance users and stakers. And that point about staking is really important actually right now because they have been launching this 10% staking as well as this referral scheme. It's important to perhaps understand, and I don't know why this website's gone a bit weird on my page. It appears they haven't done the image properly, which is a bit silly. But if we just scroll down here, we go down to the tokenomics and the burning factor. So they've already done a 60 trillion token burn on the 45 and the 90 day. But look at this. So Globiance contribution 12% on trades. Globiance used 12% of the trading fee towards a 6% burn and 6% rewards. Also with passive gains for people who hold GBEX to receive more tokens. 2% reward goes to the token holders from each transaction, guys. Can you imagine if this thing powers up? And don't get me wrong, they might change it in the future because otherwise they'll run out of tokens if there's way too many people down the line. But for sure right now, this is a great opportunity to actually have a passive option of gaining GBEX. And we'll go into a bit of the price movements shortly in a second. But for me at the moment, staking is kind of worded differently elsewhere. I think, and I haven't seen anything around staking just yet. I do have some messages being confirmed by their support team right now, actually. So at the moment, it looks like the staking mechanism is basically from holding Globiance tokens in your wallet, but also if you have contributions, for example, from referrals and also rewards from every transaction. Now, I've just checked my wallet in the reward section and there was quite a lot in there. And this is because I hold GBEX. And I'm assuming as well, obviously transactions have been occurring across the board. I haven't got a referral code yet, so it's definitely not from that side. The initial supply of like 500 trillion is obviously quite high, but you can see here GBEX burned already 121 trillion, so supposed current supply of 379. That might be slightly different, I'm not sure, but usually they're pretty accurate on CoinMarketCap. It does relatively match up. And you can see clearly that that is in operation. So that's really exciting to me. As I said, it's up and coming. So of course there's sometimes a bit of risk factor with this. But the important thing is about liquidity and that the exchange can survive bear markets and this, that and the other. And I do think it was a great timing for them to bring out the proper reward systems and potential referral systems that will come eventually as well. Because this is the sort of thing that identifies people, allowing them to make the best of these bad situations in market conditions like we see today. So I think it's a really good move from them. And also, like, the PR's been ramping up. This was a couple of weeks ago now, of course, but there's a multitude of press releases coming out about the announcement of coming out on CoinMarketCap and a variety of different exchanges. These are arguably like sort of mid-range. Some of them are going to definitely get more and more popular as time goes by, especially I'm a big fan of BitTrue, for example. And of course, one of the big factors being operating on Xinfin. Okay, so we're looking at some potential XDC network tokenomics and capabilities as time goes by. There is indeed, I have GBEX through liquidity of XDC as well from months and months ago. So it's really cool to see that development as well and why they've chosen XDC. And of course, as well, we just need to point out one of the key factors here. Globiance was developed as an automated market maker using EURG and USDG. So this is basically the Globiance alternative to stablecoins. But what's also interesting here is the Globiance stablecoins XRC20, so this is the Xinfin's network capability and protocol, benefit from the lowest possible fees as well as the instant transfers. And here's the best part: the interoperability with the ISO20022 messaging standards make these the most reasonable stablecoins on the market. These two stablecoins that they are using are ISO compliant, guys. And we know XDC's rumored. It's not like officially written anywhere, but we strongly believe and we know that there's big documentation out there to certify that XDC or indeed the Xinfin network operates with this new messaging standard. And to be honest, if you want to be part of the upcoming world's financial system from 2025 onwards, you'll definitely want to be involved with that. And this isn't just for any and everything crypto asset related. This would be heavily involved with financial messaging services. We're talking about proper financial transactions and even things like mortgages, buying and selling things, through banks, loans, etc., through CBDC payments and all these stablecoin payments. This is lucrative. And I think this is really important to understand, as well as the fact that Xinfin does boast massive transactions per second. Of course, we don't know what that will entail in the future. I mean, look at Ethereum, for example. As time goes by, the gas fees went up because the network was overloaded, but it's massively trusted. You have to understand this. And maybe there will come a point that scalability becomes an issue. We don't know this yet. This is the thing about a lot of these more recent blockchain technologies, is they boast all these things, but actually when push comes to shove, they may not be able to sustain it. Not saying that Xinfin won't, but I already see with a lot of other networks out there, some of them are struggling despite the conclusive things that they said maybe a year or 2 years ago, especially before the big bull markets that we had, that they could do all this per second business, and it just wasn't tailing in. So do keep an eye on these kind of things. We're very unbiased here. Like, I love Xinfin, I love Globiance, but I'm also like in the know, in the sense that I work in the space, Web3 and particularly blockchain. So I do identify these current scenarios as potential problems in the future. And finally as well, Chris Talks Crypto. This guy's pretty cool. He does a lot of Globiance articles and XDC and stuff. Probably worth following him as time goes by. He does a lot of cool Medium articles. I'm sure this 139 followers will grow significantly. I don't know this person, but for sure maybe we could get him on the channel one day. But he's pretty good with recapping things and how do you refer, and it's particularly around the referral scheme and this, that, and the other. You don't have to be an influencer to do referral schemes. You could be just someone that's really super interested and you want some extra income, and by doing so for free by giving other people codes. So worth looking into when it launches. It did say it was supposed to be done by end of June, but it's obviously 7th of July now as of recording, and it's not live yet, I don't think, because I haven't seen it properly, but we'll have to see. But as you can see, there's some screenshots here of referrals and things like that as well. So I might have to check that out and see if that's a possibility of that being live yet or not. But yeah, do keep an eye out for it. And it's the same for the staking element as well. I'm pretty sure that's the wording they've used, and it's part of the reward system. I haven't seen anything specific for staking yet, but if I do come across it and we get an update from the service team, I'll just drop a message in the community chat rather than do a whole nother video on it. So guys, that's very much wrapping up most of the big things regarding Globiance. Just one quick touch point as well. There's a lot of advertising here for Globiance in the recent Wimbledon tennis tournament here in the UK, Wimbledon, London. Really cool to see some of the big superstars or upcoming stars as well getting involved with Globiance advertising, mostly on their sleeves, which is super cool to see. And as the zoom ins come on the different TV channels, it's always good. It hasn't really affected the price. In fact, that's the topic we'll go on to now. As I said, unfortunately, it's not currently on TradingView yet, so I can't do my proper technicals or anything like this. But what I will just reinstate here is, of course, we had this big launch pattern here in April. But since then, it's been coming down, down, down. And actually, more recently, in the last few days, we've hit the all-time low. This is, again, not to say the project is dead or anything like this. You've got to remember the amount of supply of tokens. That might be putting a lot of people off. But if you understand the burn aspect and the tax aspect and things like this, it doesn't really become a problem in my head. And actually, it's something that I'd love to accumulate more and more of, because I do see in like 5-10 years time, this being a really defining and definitive exchange out there. And you only have to look at the other exchanges. Look how big KuCoin got, and even Binance, of course, with their own tokens like BNB, KCS. And you've got BitTrue with BTR, which is becoming really popular now for the voting and how they upload new assets and things. So for me, I see that aspect of it becoming really interesting as well, albeit that this might be a bit more of a professional exchange. I can't at this stage envision them just adding left, right and center all the different kind of tokens. This might be a bit more of a, I wouldn't call it like premium just yet, but it might just be aimed to that sort of like mid-tier to top tier, like not necessarily investors, but certainly traders and people who want a new bank account in a almost decentralized way. But that remains to be seen. I could be totally wrong on that. They might just start adding all the other tokens that we have everywhere else. It's always nice to have something a bit different. But for sure, the marketing will be important. And I do think the team behind it is really good as well. Big backgrounds in finance and other areas, particularly with communication on the marketing side, is really good. And that will continue to grow, I'm sure of it. So yeah, the token price is very low right now. You could put small amounts in and get an obscene amount of tokens. Of course, the value is relative. Will we get to $1 one day? Who knows? I think that's a very long way away. We have to do a lot of work until then. But with this burning mechanism, and if more and more people come onto the exchange and use this, who knows? This could accelerate faster than we think. But for now, I'm super happy to hold GBEX. I'll accumulate a bit every now and then and just sit tight. I see the future of this one. That's the main goal for me. Don't expect big things in the short term in terms of the price movements. But if you're a long-term holder on some of the assets, always be strategic, guys, like with your portfolio. Some are short-term ones. Some should also be there for long-term. You just have to operate in that way. I think that's the best way, in my opinion. So, guys, of course, exchange listings as well. We must remember that point. More exchange listings that it comes on with other exchanges, the better as well. Helps the awareness, the marketing, and everything like that. So that very much wraps up this video, guys. Keep it short and sweet. Hopefully, it'll be added to TradingView very soon. I have requested it. If any of you out there have TradingView or the ability to go on TradingView website and you want GBEX on there, do by all means request it. The more requests they get, the further fast-tracked it gets as well. So I'm going to leave that right there. I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching this video, guys. We'll see you in the next GBEX video. Don't forget to leave your comments below about this project in particular and any of the other videos that you see as well. And if there's any other asset or tokens that we don't cover, let us know, because we will have a People's Crypto coming next week where we will divulge into some of the requests that we've had in the last few weeks and months. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next GBEX video. Bye-bye.